Hello, and welcome to the 16th episode of the 10th Divine Podcast. This is a show about Elder Scrolls Online. I am your host, Raven, and with me I have my amazing co-host, Shanty. Shanty, how are you doing this week?
Physically, I am just beat up.
Yeah.
My counterpart at work was on vacation, so I was passing out work and, dealing with all the little fires that she usually deals with on top of the ones that I deal with on my end. And I racked up 60,000 steps just in the office this week. And 15,000 was on the first day of a new pair of shoes. So safe to say they're broken in, but that was not a pleasant day.
No, I mean, as long as you broke the shoes in and didn't break your feet too badly, I guess.
Yeah, I got home that day and I just kind of fell on the couch and that was that.
Yeah, that sounds legit. Totally fair.
Yes, and how are you doing? I hear there might be an extension. I hear there might be an epilogue to the flat.
Flatmas might be a thing. So basically, I think after a lot of shenanigans, this week has been dreadful. A lot of shenanigans with the solicitor, with the vendor's solicitors. The vendor basically had to go and do a whole load of what his solicitors should have done himself. Like on Thursday afternoon, people were literally on the phone to the people who developed the building on Thursday afternoon to try and find some particular pieces of paperwork about the planning conditions that was missing. But as of Friday, my solicitor tells me she thinks she's got everything. The last day for it all to be definitely pulled together is Tuesday, and it should complete on Thursday. And when I rang my movers, thinking, oh, well, that's all right. So I'll get the keys on Thursday, and then maybe I can move between Christmas and New Year, take it a bit easy. Thursday is the last day that my removers are working until the 1st of February. And I particularly want to use this moving firm because there are a bunch of queer, inclusive. Basically, I'm hiring a bunch of lesbians to move my stuff. That's what I'm doing. And I really, really want to support this firm because they're amazing. And basically, they were like, yeah, we can do it on Thursday. We can totally do it on Thursday, but it's Thursday or nothing. So I've had to book them and pay for them. And so everything happens on Thursday. Or it doesn't, or I find out on Tuesday that it's not happening at all. It's one or the other. Wait. So yeah.
So it will be a gin week either way, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I drank quite a lot of scotch yesterday. Actually, I really shouldn't have done, but I was watching the season finale to Oxventure, and I've actually, like, my whole chest feels really tight at the moment just with the stress. So just all across my chest feels really tight. I'm getting odd kind of like stress, heart palpitations. It's great. It's wonderful. Really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm hoping, think good thoughts for Tuesday, good thoughts for Thursday, and the whole of Twitter will find out if it goes ahead on Thursday. There will be screaming. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, if it doesn't go ahead on Thursday, then I have a completely different set of sort of bigger problems about how the fuck do I move? I'd have to start looking for a rental, basically. So I'd have to then spend the week after Christmas going over to Cheshire and looking at property and trying to get something lined up to rent, sort of ASAP. So that would be exciting. So yeah, let's hope that's not the way it goes. But yeah, there's plans and backup plans, and I was just saying before we started recording, trying to have some backup plans for internet, because obviously I don't have 2 weeks notice required to get the internet in my new house ready for when I get there. So I need some backup plans for that, because my relaxing. The things I do to relax in the evening are either play video games or watch Netflix or Disney Plus. Neither of these are possible without the internet. I won't have any books or anything to read because they'll be packed. Like, it's just kind of like, so suddenly there's just a lot to think about. Anyway, enough about me. You don't listen to this podcast to hear about us. You listen to this podcast because we always have amazing guests. And this week's amazing guest is Mrs. Trash Panda. Welcome.
Oh, nice. It's nice to be here.
Thank you for coming. It's always great to have amazing guests. What have we been up to in game since we last recorded? Shanty, have you done any gaming recently?
So remember that song and dance about writs and, keeping daily logins going? That's about what I've done in game. Dabbled a bit in WoW some. And on top of that, I've been looking at different builds because obviously if I'm going from casual to, swashbuckler supreme, I need a plan. So I've been
start playing the game properly.
Yeah, I hear. But I've been looking at different builds between like ESOU and Lucky Ghost Site and all these other, build creators. So I've been comparing and contrasting, seeing what's consistent throughout all of them, what dungeons I'm going to need to target, what trials are going to be the baby steps to get me towards further along in endgame, that kind of stuff. And has the stress allowed you any game time?
Very, very little. Very, very little. I haven't. So I've just been keeping my writs turned over in ESO every morning. Did a few dungeons in WoW. We're beginning. So the Mythic Plus season started in WoW this week. I assume the Race to World First is going on. I actually haven't paid any attention at all to what's going on in the Race to World First.
On Twitter, I think I saw a method was 2 of 8.
Oh, okay. That's slow progress. Okay, interesting.
I don't think any guild had gotten to Mythic before today, though. So.
Oh, that seems weird. Oh well. Somebody will know tomorrow. I'll do my other podcast tomorrow, and somebody will fill me in all about the Race to World First. DJ's probably paying attention. So. Yeah, done a few dungeons and bits and pieces, but really, really nothing. I don't have the brain capacity for it at the moment. My brain's just like
completely fair.
Yep, totally fair. You've got a lot on your plate. Holy moly.
Yeah. But I have now at least finished work until the 9th of January. So I extended my Christmas work break, which was already 2 weeks, by another week yesterday. So I've got 3 weeks off. Hopefully to get everything moved and to get settled and to have at least a week's kind of break after. So we'll see. Mrs. Trash Panda, what have you been up to in game?
Oh goodness, I do the usual things where I basically just do side quests and get lost all the time. And then sometimes I do a lot of house decorating.
Yeah.
And I'm terrible at keeping up on writs. I keep meaning to keep up on that stuff, but there's a block with me most days. I'm lucky if I can squeak out like one a week. So, but I do love doing like a lot of side questing and just like exploring nooks and crannies of the game and, just like wandering through and just appreciating the scenery, so.
And falling off things.
Oh, yes.
I was there for that the other day, and it's very much in line with the spirit of Raven.
Yep, I'm falling off of things. I'm flinging off of cliffs. I'm thinking I can live forever and then learn that I don't. So.
Yep. That's definitely how I play World of Warcraft. I'm slightly better about it in ESO, but I did throw, I think it was Monday night, I threw a non-flying mount off the edge of a really big cliff because I sort of thought I was on my dragon. Like dragon riding is a thing in the current expansion. So I literally launched this poor yak off the edge of this building that was on the top of a cliff because I thought I was on the dragon.
Just living your best life,
Yeah. The yak has 2 traders on it. And I do feel a bit sorry for these particular traders because I do think these grummels are probably going to sue me for some kind of like intentional
workplace negligence type.
Yes, workplace negligence, some kind of actual bodily harm at some point. But so yes, I definitely hear that. Well, let us dive into the interview. So why don't you start by telling us how you discovered the Elder Scrolls series in general, and then ESO specifically?
Sure. I started playing the Elder Scrolls about 4 years ago. A friend of mine that I met in another MMORPG introduced me to the Elder Scrolls, and they got me set up actually in the beginning with Ebonheart Pact and everything. And so, like, that's why I always go to Deshaun, because like that's where I've always gone to Deshaun, you know. And so they helped me get set up. They actually are more into like the house decorating and things like that. So I learned a lot about like house decorating. They're in a very cool ESO guild on Xbox called Grand Designs. And so oh man, they have the coolest houses in there. And so like this particular person, like I said, yeah, oh yeah. And I mean, they do like housing contests and all sorts of cool stuff in there. And so my friend got me like set up all proper and everything with all of that. And then like once I started wandering around the world, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like the most beautiful game I've ever seen in my entire life. Because of like the waterfalls and the leaves and the hearing the trees and just like having moths hover next to like lanterns and stuff. I get a big kick out of all those details. So that's kind of what kept me hooked in, was just being allowed to wander around and do side quests and, you know, just get lost in the world. It's great. So
have you played any of the other Elder Scrolls games, or have you only played ESO?
I'm a huge. I did play like Skyrim. I did play Skyrim. I loved playing Skyrim. I don't have as many hours dunked into it, probably as much as other people do, because I am an MMORPG person. When I was in WoW, I played only WoW. When I was in other MMORPGs, I only play those. And so yeah, for me, ESO, I've dunked a lot of hours into. I love it, and I'm happy that I'm able to play on at least 2 platforms because of it. So like I play on PC and Xbox, and it's awesome, and just like, you know, just trying to keep up and get my accounts all fancy for cosmetics and things like that, and building houses, of course, you know. And so yeah, it's been a fun time. So
All right. Are you a single character player, or do you have a bunch of alts ready to go?
believe it or not, I actually do have a couple of alts, but they're all healers. They're all different healers. So like I warden main heal most of the time, but on one of my core teams, I am doing Templar heals, but I've also got a Necro healer. I've also got like, you know, almost every flavor of healer you could possibly have. And so, yeah, I do have a couple of alts that I keep up, and I have like all their gear really nice, and I'm farming new gear and stuff and trying to be like min-max for endgame type of shenanigans. And so yeah, it's been fun. I like having alts. I like having fun alt names too. All my alts are like pun names. So like for instance, because I love Wood Elves so much, my character on PC is named Twigorny Weaver, after Sigourney Weaver, but with trees. So
okay. I really like that.
Yep, and then my Bossmer on Xbox is named Cherry Ann Moss for Carrie Ann Moss from The Matrix, you know? So just really like fun like tree names, you know, because I love Wood Elves, you know, so yeah, I have fun with them. Yep.
That's definitely true. That's
definitely
true.
Yep. So it's fun.
So where did you get your start in content creation?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. So a couple of years ago, I started out as a streamer on a platform called Mixer. And I was on there for like about a year until it all kind of like fell apart. But when I originally started streaming, what I was originally trying to do was create a very cool, inclusive, like loving community for people who might be chronically ill like I am. And so I didn't want other people to feel alone, because sometimes when you're like diagnosed with a chronic illness, you'll have a lot of people who like won't invite you to stuff anymore. They don't think to like include you in a lot of stuff because, you know, you're always not feeling well. And so I thought, you know, I bet there's other people that kind of feel alone too. And so that's when I started creating my community called Trash Mountain. And so that's kind of how all that started about three or 4 years ago. I've been streaming on Twitch, I think, for 2, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's kind of like how I got started in it. And then it just kind of like exploded from there, where I've tried to do like all sorts of different things and just try different projects and just kind of see like what hits, what doesn't hit. A lot of it's me not being able to focus on something long enough to get it to kind of like take off, but it's okay because like, you know, I'm still trying. So yeah. But it's been fun. It's been fun doing all that type of stuff. So it's nice to be challenged. It gets me out of bed for a little bit, you know, and gets me interacting with other people and just doing something really nice in the world. So
yeah, that's definitely an important thing to do. More people do nice things.
Yeah, we need more niceness in the world. More niceness.
More niceness, for sure.
Yep. So
Okay, so what advice can you offer about juggling multiple platforms? You did mention that you play on both Xbox and PC.
yeah, so usually what it means is when I'm trying to juggle that, it's about what's priority. So for instance, right now I am farming the daylights out of the New Life Festival on my PC account because it's my first time on that account. Because I rolled the PC account back in April. I'm trying to like catch her up to a bunch of stuff. So it also coincides with my Xbox account because I've already got like pretty much everything I could want on the Xbox account. I mean, Xbox is my main, of course, so that usually takes priority if I already don't have like all the other items that I need in the game to farm or whatever. But usually how I juggle it is, if Xbox has got it, then it's time to focus on PC, and then PC's got it, time to focus on Xbox, And sometimes I'll actually have the game up on 2 monitors and try to play the game at the same time, and it's absolutely impossible. I can't do it, but I try anyway. So,
Wow. Okay.
Especially the farming motif events. So like I'll sit like at like a farming spot in one game and then I'll just like knock that out and then I'll wait for the next one to proc on the other console and knock that one out. So it's not long-term sustainable, but it is kind of fun when I'm like really in the zone. I'm just like, I'm gonna play this game on 2 consoles at the same time. This is awesome. And just try to go all in. So So yeah, but yeah, usually just whatever account has priority is what, if I don't have it on the one account, I go to the other account and then flop around and vice versa. So just to try to make sure I've got the best of both worlds, because I got to have all of it. So, got to get all the cosmetics.
You don't get confused about what you've got on which console?
No. So I have different color-coded cords. So that way,
okay.
so like one cord looks a certain way and the other cord looks another way. And I use an Xbox controller for both. I'm a big time Xbox, controller person. I have a hard time with keyboard and mouse games. And so I have different color-coded controllers to help me differentiate between, differentiate between like the 2 consoles and things like that. So I'm not like, oh no, I'm supposed to be on Xbox. Oops, I'm like trying to, like I've got color-coded system. It works, and helps me keep track so I don't lose track of stuff too much. So.
Oh, I think Raven was actually asking about in-game, how you keep track of what you have on which one.
Oh my gosh, I don't. Let's be honest here. I cannot keep track of anything. Oh man. So I'm just as surprised as everybody else when I'm going through my inventory. So like, I just am. So like if it says like, I've obtained it or something, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good on this one. And then I have to go look on the other platform and be like, oh, okay, no, I don't have it on this. It's very confusing. I should do spreadsheets. I should be a lot more organized than I am, but I just don't have the spoons for it. So I'm just surprised, if I get it, cool. If not, all right, well, next time, better luck next time, so. But yeah, there's no method to my madness. There just isn't. No.
I mean, there's a lot of collection possible in ESO. There's a lot of different things.
There is.
So yeah, I can't imagine trying to keep track of it on more than one system.
You lose track. You do.
Being surprised is nice. So
it is. It's always a surprise. Always a pleasant surprise. I'm like, oh, I got this in this game. Oh, cool. All right. It's like Christmas all over again. So.
Pretty cool. We're just going to take a quick moment to remind you that we are part of Bonus Roll Productions. You can find our show and lots of other great MMO-focused podcasts, such as A Girl's Gone WoW, a podcast Reborn, and For Azeroth over at bonusroll.gg. You've been very open about the struggles you've had health-wise, so much so that for a long time your live notification was chronically ill and got no chill. Can you tell us a bit about how you manage that and maybe give some advice to others that are balancing their health with content creation?
Sure. I think
this is not medical advice. We are not professionals, but
right. Yeah. So for me, like, it really is about, I've got to be gentle with myself. There's a lot of projects that I would love to tackle and a lot more content creation that I would love to tackle, but my body says, you've got to go rest. You can't do this stuff. And I used to get really angry with myself about that stuff, but I've been learning how to be more mindful and present and just realizing, I was OP and then I got nerfed. And so I've got to work with this. And so I tackle what I can when I can. And if I don't get to it, I've learned to be a lot more forgiving of myself because I'm not able to produce and churn out as much as, say, more able-bodied content creators. And so, it does require having to balance between like, okay, I don't feel good. I'm not going to probably create anything good today. So I should probably just go rest instead. Body says I need to go rest. And it's about just like listening to my body and trying to balance that out with also doing content creation. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I get really frustrated with my limitations. I absolutely do. But I think a part of it too is like, I've learned how to, manage my stress when it comes to that type of stuff a lot better. When I'm feeling anxious, I try to go and take like a small walk or go touch some grass, get outside, and that stuff does actually help. It really does, it just does. It absolutely helps you. People want to say, no, but I'm just like, no, I'm walking proof that silly mental health walk actually works, and it's good, But I do get frustrated sometimes because I want to do so much. I want to do so much more, but I can't. And so I tell myself, I'm just going to be more of like a boutique experience, and I'll get done what I can get done, and I'll stream for what I can stream, and people will always know where to find me. And I'm just going to keep it. The most I can do is keep it consistent. Being consistent, I can at least keep what I can churn out consistently, and just kind of, just be gentle with myself when I'm not able to do everything that I want to do, because I have lots of ideas, but I can't get all of them complete all the time because I'm too exhausted, or I'm hurting really bad, or mentally I'm just like completely wiped out. I just can't handle anything else. I'm overstimulated, that type of thing. And so I do what I can, and I'm gentle with myself when I don't get everything done that I want to get done. So just have to be more forgiving, more kind to myself with that stuff. So yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I think we could probably all learn to be kinder to ourselves and kinder to each other.
Yep.
Yes.
Kindness, more nice.
Lots of kindness. Kind to myself, kind to everybody in the world, just more kindness and love, So yeah, that's kind of how I try to manage my stuff, and just like, acknowledge the fact when I am frustrated that I'm human and it's okay. But to just kind of, let that go into the void, because like there's nothing I can do about it. I can get done what I can get done, and that's got to be good enough. It's just got to be good enough, and that's it. So it's just good enough.
Okay. Thank you for that. Despite being referred to as Trash Mountain, your community is very welcoming, a very wholesome place. What kind of work did it take to build it in such a way?
So when I started the community, I had a very specific audience mindset from the very beginning, because I wanted to make meaningful connections with people. I wanted to create a support group, a support system for anybody who is struggling with veteran stuff, homelessness, that type of thing, having chronic illnesses. Just, I wanted it to be a cohesive, cool town where we all support each other, and you can go there and you can be safe in that place, and you can make new friends, and you can make new connections. And I'm very strict when it comes to behaviors in my community. I do expect everybody to police their own behavior. If I have to get on to you about something, you're out, because you know what the rules of this place is. We're not toxic. We're not being nasty to each other. It's about, people making mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to learn and grow from those mistakes, and not, demonize people for making mistakes. But I have zero room for just absolute malice and trolling and hatefulness. If you're going to come into my world basically and come and bring that stuff with you, I'm going to remind you gently the first time, hey, this is not really what we're about here. And if you're still not going to be able to get it, this isn't the place for you, pal. You should scoot along to the next channel, because you're not going to find what you're looking for here, And so I've been very fortunate with being able to. I always tell everybody that those who are meant to find Trash Mountain will find us. And and everybody who has come into the community has been just really amazing and supportive, and they get it. They get the type of environment I'm trying to grow and cultivate here. And just I'm just trying to create a really strong, solid support group, really. Because, the world is a really dark place sometimes, and not everybody has access to getting out of their house, or, going to, an event with somebody and getting support that way. A lot of us do have to rely on the internet for support, emotional support and friendships and systems and things like that. And so I really wanted to make sure that Trash Mountain envelops and encompasses that entire set of ideas and guidelines, I guess, So just trying to keep it, just trying to keep it wholesome. I mean, like I said, we do say the F word sometimes, but we mean well. We mean well. And, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to be from all different walks and backgrounds of life. And it doesn't matter what you did in your past, because you're trying to be better than you were yesterday, just like I am, because I'm not perfect either. And so I just really try to cultivate like that message of just like love and acceptance and understanding and compassion and empathy. But if somebody's going to come in and troll, I don't put up with that. You're out, so because I've been on the internet for a real long time and I've seen it all, so I'm not going to waste my energy and my spoons trying to reparent you when you're not getting the read of the room. If you're failing the vibe check, as they say, it's just that this isn't the place for you, pal. Scoot along, so I've tried to really hard to create those ideas. So
yeah. You can only build a properly inclusive space by being quite boundaried and making liberal use of the ban tool. It's not very often I need to ban people from Discord, as you say.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. Yeah,
people mostly read the room and are like, okay, yeah, this isn't.
Like just a simple, I can just say vibe check in my community and they're like, oh, okay, MTP's serious about this. Okay, I gotcha. I try to talk nicely to people with that stuff too. I worked with kids for a really long time. I'm a parent myself. I tell my own kids, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to do these things. We just got to work on it and try not to do it again. Let's be better than we were yesterday, so. But I haven't had to really get on to too many people, thankfully, knock on wood. So. So yeah.
It's good. It's good when communities become kind of self-moderating, perpetuating. It's a really great feeling.
It is. It really is. So
we recently received a letter to the community from Zos and from Matt Finor, which mentioned moving away from the year-long stories that have been how ESO's operated since 2015, something like that, I think. And moving back to arcs that will last multiple years. How do you feel about that change?
I'm actually pretty excited. I love stories in this game. I love all the stories. The main stories, the side quest stories, the stories in the different DLC zones. I think it's really fun that they're experimenting with like different ways of making things work and be more cohesive. I think that's really cool. And who's to say that it doesn't change again in another couple of years if they go and do this and decide that it doesn't work, they go back to the other way. But I give them props for at least trying to kind of shake things up and mix things up and create like really large dynamic story arcs for all of us to enjoy and participate in if we want to. And I think it could be a good change. I think it could be a really good change for the game. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing like how the political intrigue and the the drama and all that stuff. Like I'm all into that, and because I'm a big time story absorber. I love the stories. I love all the stories. So I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, cool. I think it's going to just turn the pace down just a notch. Which I think is, well, for me would be quite good because I certainly so I'm always like no did we not just have a patch? I feel like we just had a patch. How is there another patch again? What's going on?
I like the idea of it being slow. I like the idea of it slowing down too, and just giving people a chance to just catch up and consume what they want and be able to have time to do that and not feel overwhelmed. A lot of people I bet could feel very overwhelmed. So
yeah, I do think
cool.
I mean there's always going to be a balance in an MMO, isn't there, between like the cadence is never going to be right for everyone. So,
no.
But
as three longtime MMO players, we can all definitely recognize that.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
Shanty, what do you think about this change?
I'm interested to see how it goes personally. It actually kind of segues into this next question because we're no longer going to be getting a new like sub-zone in quarter 4. Instead, they're, for this year at the very least, they're going to be implementing a long requested system in quarter 4. Now, I'm curious as to what that could be. So, MTP, do you have any anything you're hoping for or any wild speculation on what this could be?
It's anybody's guess. I feel like it feels like anybody's guess. Like I'm trying to figure out myself what has been long asked for. I even asked my community the other day. I'm like, "What's the pulse on the street, fam? Like, what have we all been asking for? Like, what is this?" Either way, I'm gonna give it a whirl. You know me. I love this game. I'll try anything that they add to it. But it is anybody's guess, truly. I'm kind of just like, I don't even know what they could do to add to it. Tot was a cool addition. I'd love to explore that more. I would love to explore that more. I have not had a chance to play more rounds of that. That was a fun addition. But as far as anything else, like, I don't know. I have no idea. So I could not figure out the answer either from my community. They don't know either.
So one thing I've seen speculated, and this was something they were working on way back in the very early days of our friends over at Tales of Tamriel, back when they had their original hosts. They were working on spellcrafting, but I don't know if that's a great idea in an MMO just from a balance standpoint.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that possibly. That could cause all sorts of different things to start to have to shift now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
That could disrupt the ecosystem severely. So.
Yeah, interesting idea though. What other has there been anything else that's been on the list? The possible options. I'm a bit like you, MTP. I was just like, well, that could be like
the other things I've seen frequently over the past week on Twitter and in Discord and such. New race, new weapon line, new skill line in general.
Okay.
New class, not new race. Sorry, new class, not new race.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, oh man, put some sea elves in there. Let's go. I want to be a Malamir. Let's go.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I would love to see a lot of different, more races added, of course. I add all the elves, add all of them, every single one.
Yes.
Let's just get more. We always need more elves. Let's go. Yeah. But that would be interesting. That would be really interesting with those additions. So
I personally thought they missed the trick when they didn't add a Corsair class this year.
Yeah, that could have been like a real good way it would have been the right time to implement that. It would have been the right time to implement that for sure. So. But just have to use cosmetics and make myself look that way as best as I can.
Yeah, because ESO already has most of the kind of main systems that you might want. Obviously, every time you have this sort of conversation with WoW, everyone's like, player housing.
Oh, yeah.
But,
yeah.
ESO has that in space.
Yeah, I mean, that's only been a request since what, BC?
Yeah, I mean, since the beginning, almost. But yeah, you've got your transmog, you've got your armor dying, you've got your player housing, you've got all the big things.
Yeah, I feel like all of those have been ticked. All those have been ticked off. So it's it's anybody. I'm gonna probably be pleasantly surprised like the rest of us. So hopefully,
it's good. It's good that there's new stuff coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, just before we finish up here, we've got a few fun questions. If you could magically pluck one of the race or species from Tamriel and drop them into Earth, what would you pick?
Okay, obviously Wood Elf. I mean, but also I think Argonians would be cool. I think Argonians would be really cool. Oh man, like with the Argonian architecture and just like all of the cool fashions and stuff, I would just be all over that. And the houses and things like that. I think that'd be really neat. And to get to go running around with glowing scales, like, let's go. That'd be neat looking. And, people would be like, wow, that's awesome. Plus, the music's really nice there, too. So it's a toss-up between Wood Elf and Argonian, okay? It's a weird combination, but I'm here for it, So it'd be neat. It'd be really
I like the idea that the Argonians turn up and that just when you're near them, they play music.
Yes.
You can hear the Argonian music.
I love the deep throat singing. I love listening to the Argonian bards and Murkmire. I'm just like, yeah, let it out. It's awesome. And that would be neat to see in our own real world. I think that'd be really cool to see. So.
Yeah.
All right. And this last one is one of our favorite questions to ask our guests. Why is AD the best faction?
Because of Queen Erin. Because she just doesn't put up with nothing. She doesn't put up with nothing, and she's unifying the nations. and she's not listening to all the people around her, and she's saying, you know what, we need help from the Wood Elves, we need help from over here. This is okay, fam. This is all right. And also, I'm having a huge kick with that new title that was added to the game, the Eye of the Queen, being one of like her secret little spy people out there in the world, keeping an eye open for her. Like, Queen Erin's cool. She's super cool. She's totally like, I look up to her, you know, let's be Queen Erin when I grow up, you know. She's just doesn't put up with nothing, and it's awesome. So she knows what she wants out of life. I've got a lot of respect. And so with her being the leader of AD, can't go wrong there. You just can't go wrong there at all. So
that is an excellent answer and very, very true. Very, very true. Love the Queen.
Yep.
Thank you for taking the time to join us today. It's been great to have you. Can you let our listeners know where they can find you?
Sure. I'm on twitch.tv/Mrs. Trash Panda, MRS Trash Panda. So you can find me there Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 9 a.m. Eastern until my body says, get back in bed, kid. You got fibromyalgia. So, so yeah, that's where you can find me. And thank you so much for the opportunity and having me on your show today. It was really great. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you for tuning into the show. If you've enjoyed it, please let other people know and give us a review wherever you're listening to it. Rating and reviewing the show helps other people to find it. You can also give us a review over at the Bonus Roll podcast directory. Go to bonusroll.gg/directory to find it. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can find us on Twitter at 10th Divine Pod, or you can email us at 10thdivinepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to find us in other places, you can find me, Raven, over at Girls Gone WoW if you're a World of Warcraft fan, or if tabletop RPGs are more your thing, check out As the Dice Roll, where I'm part of the crew of the Cautious Optimism. You can also find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram as Silky Raven, and I'm also hanging out on the Girls Gone WoW Discord at girlsgonewow.net/Discord. We have a channel over here for ESO chatter and lots of other general gaming chat.
And you can find me, Shanty, on Twitter or Twitch. I stream ESO on Saturday nights. I'll be picking that back up after New Year weekends is passed. Got to have time with the family during the holidays and all that. You can also find me on Hive, where I am Shanty Man. If blog posts are your thing, you can look for monthly updates during the first week of the month on my road from casual to swashbuckler supreme over at bonusroll.gg. You can also find me on the GGW Discord, joining in the ESO and general gaming chatter, as well as many other gaming and ESO Discords. Feel free to say hello if you happen to see me online.
Do you think you've got them all yet? Do you think you've got all the ESO Discords yet?
Oh, there's at least 10 that Eremithius is in that I still haven't even tried to get into yet. Okay, so he's still got a bit of a margin on me.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for listening this and every week. We will be back in a fortnight with another lovely chat about ESO. Bye-bye.